Alright, hello YouTube. Today we are going to be discussing mastery trees for AD carry and support in my long-awaited mastery tree video. So, without further ado, let's just get right in. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about AD carry masteries. So, this is actually a good time to talk about masteries because they don't really change masteries except between seasons. Standard at 20. .NET, PBE. Where's the PBE notes? Where are the patch notes? Releases. I don't use this site. I think I have to Google it. Surrender at 20, and then it's here. I don't know how to get to this page. I don't use this website. What the fuck? I have a Steam update going on in the background. That's probably why. So here are the PBE changes. This is pretty much what's going to be released with the next patch, and the next patch will be the mastery. The masteries should stay the same way for the rest of the season, unless something really weird happens, because normally they don't really change masteries in between seasons. So we're seeing minor nerfs to Courage of the Colossus, and some decent buffs to Fervor. Some decent buffs. Decent buff to Fervor, so Fervor is getting even better. This is getting slightly worse. It's not huge. Oh shit. Oh, not now. Alright. So everything I say is pretty much going to be true for the next patch and the rest of the season, unless they change the masteries. So we are going to first talk about my first mastery page. The first mastery tree I ever made was the first one I needed, AD carry Jinx. So I take this mastery tree on Jinx, Caitlyn, Sivir, Ashe if I choose to take Fervor. I take it on Tristana and Twitch. Yes, so this is for Sivir, Caitlyn, or not, Jinx, Caitlyn, sometimes Sivir, sometimes Ashe, Trist, and Twitch. This is the mastery tree I use for those champions. I take attack speed because these are all DPS based. They're not really spell based. ADCs, they're not really spellcasters. They're all DPS based. So you want to do as much DPS as you can, as much auto attacks, much damage. So that's why you take this. Ramp up your attack speed. This isn't really worth it on those ADCs. Exposed weakness, not for ADCs. Feast is pretty useless. 20 HP every 30 seconds, only when you kill a unit. It's decent for junglers. Just because fresh blood is worthless in the jungle. So it's actually decent for junglers. But fresh blood is really strong in lane. 6-second cooldown, 10+1 per level damage. Like, if you ever want to get a scale on how strong this actually is, I went to a bot match as Draven. I take Battle Trance. I don't take Fervor on Draven, but I took Battle Trance and Fervor on Draven and Fresh Blood. 2 spinning axes, right? Auto with spinning axe. So right when I hit him, I do Fresh Blood on the first auto, and then on the second auto has 1% increased damage because of Battle Trance, and bonus damage from Fervor. And the Fresh Blood auto did more than the amplification damage from both of these. So Fresh Blood is actually quite potent as a poking tool early laning phase. It's really, really good laning phase, but it's pretty worthless late game, as is this. But so I think 2% lifesteal. I mean, spell vamp's not a stat worth having, but whatever. 2% lifesteal is better than, like, I think this is 10 AD and 18 AP at level 18. I think 2% lifesteal is better than that on ADCs. This isn't really that important. Because raw damage isn't as good on ADC as attack speed and critical strike chance are. Attack speed and critical strike chance are how ADCs do damage. They do crits and they do attack speed. That's how they do damage. They don't really do like raw AD damage. That's why, like, if you get ahead as ADC, you go for another crit item instead of more damage. That's how to maximize your damage if you're getting ahead as an ADC. You get your IE, your Runons, and you go for rapid fire cannon or static shiv. I mean, Phantom Dancer if you really feel like it. But that's how you maximize your damage as an ADC because they scale more with crits than with AD. So I think this is better on ADCs. And I talked about battle chain. I talked about the mechanics of battle trance in my Kog'Maw video. If you missed it, I won't make you go back and watch it because it's like an hour long. It's at the beginning though, so but I'll just explain it again. So the way battle trance works is it procs at the beginning of the second. So as soon as you hit someone and put yourself in combat, that's 1% increase in damage right there. And it just says in combat with enemy champions. So if you are being harried for like 2 seconds, you run away, and then you turn around and start fighting, you will have 2% increased damage. So that's 2 mechanics of battle trance. I feel like a lot more people would take this on ADCs if they knew just how good it was. This is the thing you should be taking on all ADCs except Jhin. Jhin is the one ADC I do not take this on. And then this is a pretty clear-cut choice in ADCs. The only ADC that you would not really take full battering blows is Kog'Maw. I go 2 battering blows, 3 piercing thoughts on Kog'Maw, and I take 18 points in cunning on Corki, so this doesn't really apply. But those are the only 2 ADCs that really do magic damage. And at Fervor of Battle, I like doing damage. This gives you a lot of damage. This gives you slightly less damage. Well, it gives you no bonus damage. It gives you no bonus damage from Fervor, but it does play a little safer. Gives you a little bit of extra lifesteal, which helps you sustain in lane, helps you get those fights off. But I prefer Fervor, personally. If you're going to take Warlords, I would really only take it on close range ADCs like Draven, Vayne, Sivir. You can take it on Jinx as well, just because of her short range. I would also take it on Kalista. Warlords on Kalista. I would also take Warlords on Ashe, just because Fervor is really bad on Ashe, the new Fervor anyways, because Ashe has 2 AD scalings, 100% total AD on her W, so that's a good scaling, but her Q scaling is pretty garbage. The Q is good because it gives her so much more attack speed. It doesn't do that much. Well, it does do increased damage. It just doesn't scale that well with AD. So Fervor is... Oh, wrong page. So Fervor is not that great on her. I don't... What the fuck? Whatever. So Fervor is not that great on Ashe. And then I opt for 12 points in Cunning on Jinx just because I want the Merciless. Like, really? It really comes down to, do you want meh, worthless, really good, okay-ish, or meh, completely worthless, good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. So, like, Merciless is really the only thing worth having in this tree. None of this other stuff is really worth it. This is pretty garbage. Both of these are pretty garbage. This is okay, I guess, on a solo laner. This is really, really good. None of these are really that good. This is good for junglers, but these others really aren't that good. This is kind of worthless. None of these are really that good. This is okay. Early laning phase if you get shoved under your turret. This is pretty freaking good. 8% increased lifesteal, healing, shields, regeneration. So this is actually really good. And 15% reduced summoner cooldowns. This is really good. But Merciless is just so fucking good that I really like it on Jinx, especially with her ulti, the execution-based damage. I really like this. This gives you a little bit easier. This helps you farm a little easier, helps you farm under turret, helps you push out waves a little faster because you do slightly more damage to minions. Helps you farm a little easier. This helps you get to lane faster, helps you roam better. It's personal preference. I've just only recently started taking Savagery again. I kind of like it, but they're both good. Don't take this on ADC. You really shouldn't be alone as an ADC. You're really not going to be getting that much buffs either, so this little increase in healing from potions helps you in laning phase. This is super good. Don't take this on ADC. Like, even on a mage ADC, I wouldn't take this, just because you should be, like, managing your mana well enough on ADCs. Like, no ADCs are even spell-reliant, except Lucian, Ezreal, Corki. I think it's just Lucian, Ezreal, and Corki are the only ADCs that are spell-reliant. Oh, Varus. I guess kind of MF, but yeah, Varus. Yeah, I still wouldn't take this on any ADC. If you're going, like, the only reason to even go down this tree as an ADC is to get Merciless. So if you're not taking Merciless, don't even go down this tree. Just go down this tree. And then this, if you choose to take this, make sure you take advantage of it during the laning phase. Like, step into brush whenever it's up and try to get it auto off. Like, if you're going to use this, take advantage of it. If not, don't even bother with Bandit on ADC. Take this instead. And this tree, you're not going to be building armor and magic resist that much armor and magic resist on ADC, so this is better. This will help you get regen up. Don't take this on ADC. If you are if you're taking this and you're going to get pushed in your turret, like they have a strong bot lane or something, or you're just going to play really passively, I would actually take Siege Master because it'll help you out more than this. Take this. This is so good. Much better than 50 HP. Much better. So definitely go for Runic Armor. And then you obviously want Insight. Really isn't that useful. This is not really that great either, but so definitely take Insight if you're going to go down this route. I think I got everything covered with ADC. I actually need to talk about this on here on Jhin. So on Jhin, where's Jhin? This is what I use on Jhin. Oh, I do not recommend at all taking a Resolve Tree on Jhin. His kit is so based around execution with his passive on 4th shot and his ulti. I would definitely take Merciless on Jhin. I would not take this Resolve Tree at all on Jhin. See, Jhin, like, I don't like Bounty Hunter because it relies on kills, but I also don't like taking an extra 2.5% increased damage. And battle chance is kind of terrible on Jhin. So I just like, this is almost completely useless on, I mean, it's not like, because Jhin doesn't really fight, he kind of trades at all points in the game. He's just like skirting around the back or just ulting, so this really isn't that good on him at all. Basically, I would take whichever one you take on mages. Like, if you take Double-Edged Sword on mages, take Double-Edged Sword on Jhin. If you don't, I would take Bounty Hunter. I think I take Bounty Hunter on mages. Yeah, take Bounty Hunter, just because I don't feel like taking an extra 2.5% increase in damage. And then Jhin isn't really reliant on attack speed. He can't even gain increased attack speed, so obviously you want sorcery. Draven. Yes, this is my Warlord's tree. I take this on Draven. I take this on Vayne. I actually do take this on Callista because the kills on Rend are so key to her success. And Corki is really weird. He's also pretty bad right now. His itemization is pretty garbage. You go Trinity, Hextech Gunblade, and after that you can kind of build whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't really matter. His builds are all pretty shit anyways. He basically, after you get those 2 items and after you spike those 2 items, you're really strong. And then once you start getting the 3 items, you start falling off really hard. So Corki's in a really shitty spot right now for a lot of reasons, and one of the reasons is his item build is so weak. But this is the tree I take on him. Sorcery. I take Thunderlords just because so much burst reliance, and he does kind of fall off late game anyway, so I am playing more for the early mid game on him. Anyways, I think that we finish off all the ADCs. Let's move on to the supports. So we'll start with the first support tree. We have Janus Soraka support. You're not hitting minions as support, and if you are, you have a relic shield, so it executes it anyways. No point in this at all. Wanderer helps you roam faster. Supports roam a lot more than ADCs, so you want to be roaming around a lot. You're not really going to get buffs as support. Damage doesn't matter at all, so obviously you want to take Biscuits for sustain. Again, you're not really doing damage. You're more focused on mana. Even if you're doing like a mage like support like Brand or Zyra, I would still take Meditation, just because you're going to need to be throwing, like as a mage support, you need to throw your spells a lot to be effective. I just think the Meditation and the mana helps you mana sustain, because you can't really build like Morello or Athenes on Zyra or Brand support, because you got to get like Sightstone and like Rylai's and shit, like more utility items. So I really prefer having this. Helps you with your mana sustain. Bandit helps you get money because you're not really getting CS. You should be harassing a lot with a Frost Queen's Claim if you choose to take that item. But let me talk about support itemization. So whichever support item you choose to buy, you either choose the coin, the blue item, the Queen's Claim, or the green item, the Relic Shield. If whichever one you choose, make sure you're using it. If you choose the Frost Queen's Claim, make sure you're harassing a lot and getting a lot of gold out of it. Because I see supports, they buy the Frost Queen's Claim and then they don't like harass, so they're not actually generating any money from the item. And if I have something like a Relic Shield and I'm getting minions, I'm getting a lot more gold than their support is. So whichever support item you do buy, make sure you use it. If you don't feel like harassing and you're like ranged like Janna or Soraka, I would definitely get a coin, because that'll give you the most reliable form. Or if you're not confident in your last hitting on Thresh, you can get coin as well. Or if you don't really feel Like if you're not harassing as Nami or Karma, you're playing them wrong. So I really wouldn't take the coin on Karma or Nami, but on if you're not confident on your last thing on Thresh, I would take the coin. Definitely take the coin on Soraka, Janna, stuff like that. I mean, Janna can harass. I just prefer to play a little more of a passive Janna. It's just me, because her harass is not that strong. It's strong when she trades 2v2, but her solo harass I don't think is that good. Anyways, so definitely take mana on supports. Intelligence on non-mage supports. I think I take precision on yeah, I do take precision on mage supports, but on Janna, Soraka. This is also the same page I use on Karma, Sona. Use that. Let's move over. So let's go to support. So I would take that page on Soraka, or Janna, Soraka, Nami, Lulu, Sona. Yeah. And obviously you want Windspeaker's Blessing because you're based on healing and shielding. And you're not really building a lot of tank stats as support. Most of the money on your items goes towards heals, shields, or as allies buffs. So so recovery is better than this. If you're getting if you're against a strong bot lane or you have like a weak laning phase, ADC, take Siege Master. Other than that, take Tough Skin. You can take Explorer. It'll help you roam. I don't know. I just prefer really these two. And on Janna and Nami, I would probably take Veteran Scars because you're going to be healing and shielding your AD carry more so than yourself. But on Karma, Soraka, Sona, anything that shields itself as much as it shields the ADC, I'd probably... Actually, I think I take Veteran Scar. Yeah, I think only Sona and Soraka I take Runic Armor on because anything that shields it and heals itself as much as it shields in the ADC, which I think is only Soraka and Sona, I take Runic Armor. Other than that, I take it to Veteran Scars. And then on a squishy mage support, you definitely want the Insight. Insight is the best thing on support, just because you're exhausted on a 179-second cooldown, and you want that exhaust up as often as possible. If you are a tank support and you're taking Ignite, I would take Fearless. But if you're any support with exhaust, definitely I would take Insight. Also, having your flash up is pretty valuable as well. I'll talk more about that when I go into the tank supports. So here's my tank support. Oh, let me talk about Bard real quick. Bard is interesting. None of the keystones is really good on Bard. Like, he's not really tanky, so he doesn't really benefit from these. He's squishy, so you don't really want Bond of Stone. He doesn't really... His heal is pretty useless outside of laning phase, unless you can get the Shrine to fully mature. He's not obviously not good with anything in here. So I really just choose this tree on Bard. I just take the Thunderlords. It's the exact same tree as my tree for all the other supports, except I choose the Thunderlord's Decree. Bard is weird. And then let's go over to the tank supports. So everything's the same up in this tree. And so I choose Legendary Guardian just because it helps you initiate, helps you get an initiate, makes you stronger for each nearby enemy. And not really, this really isn't that good on like an initiation tank. It's good on like Aatrox, Yorick, Yasuo. But it's not really that good on an initiation tank. So obviously, I take this on Braum. I also take it on Taric. But I take this on like Leona, Thresh. I think I take... I don't really play... I haven't played Blitz with the Courage of the Colossus yet, but I think if I played Blitzcrank, I'd probably take Courage of the Colossus. But yeah, I take Bond of Stone on Braum and Taric, and Courage of the Colossus on Leona and Thresh. And again, this holds true if you're getting shoved on, if you're like a weak lane. Like tank supports, that is their weakness, is they can get shoved in lane pretty easily because they don't really have harass and wave clear. All they really can do is all in. So if you feel like you're going to get shoved in, go ahead and take Siege Master. I do choose Unyielding over Recovery because, again, even with a tank support, you don't get that much armor in MR because you're going to be building a lot of shields and healing items. Not that much armor and magic resistance, so I think Recovery. And plus, obviously you're against a range with the enemy ADC, and mage supports are really strong right now, so this Recovery will help you keep your health up in lane, so you can go in and initiate. If you do take Ignite, you can take Fearless. Makes you a little stronger. Other than that, I would definitely take Insight. For the exhaust in 179 seconds is pretty valuable. So that's exhaust every 3 minutes, which is really good. And having your flash up on an initiation champion more often is also really good. So 255-second cooldown on flash, that's super good. So I choose Insight. And let's talk about mage supports. This I think I only use on Brand and Zyra. Let's see. Mage. Brand, Zyra. I think I use this. No, I think I use the Bard tree on Morgana as well. Just because she's more utility. She's more based around her utility than her damage. But yeah, Zyra and Brand, I think, are the only ones that I take this tree on. Yeah, this is from Bard and Morgana. And so instead of going a more utility-oriented route, a little more defensive, a little more utility, we go full damage, because that's the purpose of these supports, is to do as much damage as possible. This is the one mage page I choose Double-Edged Sword over Bounty Hunter, just because the focus of my mage support is not to get kills. Obviously, you want the kills going to your other teammates rather than you. You do a shit ton of damage with this mage support. I actually do opt to take precision over intelligence on mage supports just to ramp up my damage as high as possible. Expose weakness, because again, I mean, you could take fresh blood, but make sure you're harassing a lot with auto attacks if you choose to do that. Expose weakness. Wanna, like, Brand, you wanna get that big AoE alt DW, spread your E around, get your passive, and just you want your team to wipe them out. Zyra, the same thing. You want that AoE alt D plant just hitting everybody. Expose weakness, you're just going to roll over them in a team fight. Natural talent, get as much AD and AP as possible. Not really concerned about my own safety on these kinds of supports. I die too much with them, but whatever. Double-edged sword. One thing to note about precision, if they choose to make any kind of changes to magic penetration, like with lethality, definitely take intelligence. Like on any champion, like lethality is such a worthless stat. I actually do not recommend building it, like ever, on anyone, on any champion. The only time I recommend building lethality, I recommend one, if you're playing AD Assassin, I recommend one lethality item. Either Duskblade, Yomu's, or Edge of Night. Lethality is just such a completely fucking worthless stat. They were even I was watching the IWC tournament, and they were talking about the serrated dirk, because the Pantheon had stacked a lot of longswords, and they're like, well, yeah, it's better. Like, yeah, it actually is. It's not gold efficient to complete a serrated dirk. It's better to just sit it on 2 longswords. That's how shitty lethality is. 400 gold is like, it's 400 gold to complete a serrated dirk, and it's not even worth completing it because of how shitty of a stat lethality is. Like, it's the worst stat in the entire game. There's literally no point in buying it. I really would not recommend it at all. Even if you are playing Assassins, I would just go for, Mercurial Scimitar, Ravenous Hydra, Death Dance, Black Cleaver, Last Whisper, those items. Like, lethality is just such a bad stat. There's no point in having it. It's such a bad stat. Ugh. Like, it's completely fucking worthless. I don't even think it starts scaling till, like, I don't even think it's worth having until your opponent's like level 14 or 16. I can't remember. It's like level 4. Like, there's only 2 or 4 more levels to go before their max levels. Like, the fuck's the point of having it? Like, literally, don't build lethality. And the same thing applies to flat magic penetration as well. Should they ever make any changes to flat magic penetration like they did to flat armor penetration, fuck precision. Don't take it because it'd be worthless. I mean, 8.5 lethality, that's actually completely worthless. So you would definitely opt for intelligence in that case. But let me hit on Bard and Morgana again. Like, yeah, Morgana has her Black Shield. Yeah, Bard has his heal. But it's really, like, they're more based around their damage as much as their utility. They're not based solely around their utility, like Janna, Soraka, Sona, what's the other one? Janna, Soraka, Sona, Karma, Nami. They're based as much around their utility as they are around their damage. I mean, yeah, Karma is based around her damage, but Windspeakers is just so fucking good on Karma. That AoE shield late game is so good. But Bard and Morgana are based pretty much half and half on damage and utility. And their Bard's heal is not really that great. Morgana's Black Shield is not. Yeah, it's good, but only for the CC immunity. If it didn't give the CC immunity, it'd be a completely worthless ability. You wouldn't even put points in it. Unless you were mid, or they had like a mage bot lane. But so I take the Thunderlords on Bard and Morgana. Plus Thunderlords is super fucking easy to proc on Bard. Because of his passive, 2 autos will proc Thunderlords. Morgana, you just throw down your W, 1 auto if they're like in the center. Maybe need an extra auto if they're towards the edge, but it's super easy to proc Thunderlords on both those champs. You get that good harass out. Helps you out a lot. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Maybe I'll talk on why I choose Bond of Stone on Braum. I just don't like Courage of the Colossus on Braum. I just really don't. Because he's not really an initiator, and Tarek is the same way. They're not really initiators. Braum and Tarek aren't initiators. I mean, Thresh, for some reason, Leona isn't a support. She's under tanks. Oh, so is Alistar and Nautilus. I mean, Leona, Alistar, Nautilus, Blitzcrank. I mean, even Poppy. Like, these are all initiators. Like, Scion, initiator. But Braum and Tarek are not initiators. It's pretty hard to engage with Braum's ulti. Like, it's more of a defensive ability. Tom Kench is the same way. He's not really an initiator. I actually do take Bond of Stone on Tom Kench. Wait, what the fuck? Oh. I was like, Hecarim? No, it's this glitch again. You gotta scroll all the way to the bottom, scroll all the way back up. It should be fixed. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks right. Because these guys aren't initiators. They're like peelers. So I take Bond of Stone on them. That's why. And even if you aren't an initiator, I don't really think having 15% tenacity and slow resistance is as good as having 3% or +3 flat armor and MR for each nearby enemy champion. I think this is better on supports. I think this is really only good on stuff like Aatrox, Yasuo, Darius, if you choose to go the Resolve tree, Yorick, what other like bruiser tanks are there? Like I think they'd be under fighters. Rek'Sai, Nasus maybe, Aatrox, Jax, Mord. If you wouldn't be on that tree and board though. Maybe Garen, maybe Renekton, Yas definitely, Irelia, Fifi, Riven. But yeah, you take this general on initiation tanks. Like take this on Malphite, Shen. What's the other big tank that I play? Nautilus. Basically. Alright. I think this concludes my Mastery Tree video. I hope it was what you've all been waiting for. Hope you learned something. And I was about to say I'll see you all next time, but I don't know what I'll do for my next video. I really want to do more games than just League. Not for educational purposes, because League is really the only game I know on the level that I do know it. But maybe for my next video, I'll do a different game. Maybe for my next video, I'll just do a commentary. Maybe for my next video, I'll do game analysis. I don't know. I was actually kind of wanting to do game analysis of this game. But, like, I mean, because we did have a pretty good comeback. I mean, it was something like, so it was 1, 4, 7, 9, 10. So it was 13-2. And we ended up winning. Everyone just kind of pulled together and won, but I don't know. Like, I feel like as an individual in this game, there wasn't a whole lot to analyze. It was a lot more based on team play, like the team collectively, where like no one wanted to surrender. Like, okay, we were all, I think it was me, Cinder, and Jinx, and these 2 guys were randoms. Cinder was the only one who wanted to surrender. I think. I don't remember right. I don't think either of the randoms wanted to surrender. I think he was the guy who was advocating strongly. I was just pretty wet. I don't think I was on voice with them. But, this is actually my first game as Yasuo with, like, the new Mastery trees, so that was pretty fun. Well, that I can remember. I don't remember, like, I have points with him, that's the thing. I didn't have no Mastery with him. I actually have, like, Mastery 2 with him. Where is he? He's, like, all the way up here now. Like, what the hell? I don't ever play him. I don't have a skin for him. I have a skin for, like, most champs. that I play. I don't have a skin for him. I don't ever play him. This is my first game with him. It's like forever. He's really fun. Like, holy shit, I was having a blast this game. I kind of wanted to do game analysis, but I don't know. In reality, I really just wanted to show off my flashy plays. I had some good plays in this game. Because Yasuo's such a fucking giant playmaker. Anyways, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do for my next video because I don't know. I want to do something random. Maybe I'll just do another commentary. Maybe I'll do another gameplay analysis. Maybe I'll do a different game entirely. World of Tanks, some Dota maybe. What else do I got? So we got some... This game's fucking boring. I mean, if I streamed, I would stream myself and my friends playing Minecraft because we actually do have a server that we play on sometimes. Maybe for my next video, I'll probably do World of Tanks or Dota. Maybe some more League. Who knows? Anyways, hope the Master Chief video was worth the wait. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I don't think I will do a Mastery Tree video for other lanes. If I ever do explain masteries for other lanes, other roles, I'll probably do it in a gameplay analysis, but like, I don't know, I don't feel like I know these roles in these other lanes as well as I know AD carry and support. I mean, as you can see, like, look at my fucking AD carries and supports. Like, I mean, compare the amount of mastery I have on AD. So, assassins. Obviously, I'm not really an assassin player, except for Kha'Zix. Fighters. I mean, I've got a decent amount of points on a lot of them, but because this is kind of like my go-to class in other lanes. I don't ever play this role. ADC, as we can see. Support. I play support a lot, but I mostly just play Thresh. And then tanks. I play a good amount of tanks, but not that often. So I don't know about if I'll do a Mastery Tree video for the other positions in this game, but anyways, let's stop rambling. That was my Mastery Tree video for ADC and support. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. I'll see you all next time.